What's going on, everybody? You already know who this is, and this definitely your favorite soulful child. Shark coming back at you once again at the P.E.G Podcast. And y'all know we live here, man. We always uplifting you guys around the world, sharing positive energy. We got positive people spreading positive love, give you the real. And y'all know I'm always running into crazy people. And man, y'all won't believe I ran into my man. Oh my God, I ran into my man himself. Y'all wouldn't believe me because manifestation is real. So I don't care what y'all say, it's real. You feel me? So look, man, on the P.E.G Podcast, I want to welcome you guys, my man Gabriel Cannon in the building. Y'all, how you doing, man? How you doing, Gabriel?
Man, I'm good. I'm feeling that energy coming off with. You feel me? Got me a little electrified over here.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey, man, I got to give you that positive energy, bro. Always, man. And it's always love. You never know who's going to show up. And like I said, it's manifestation. And who would have ever guessed Gabriel Cannon would be in the building? You know,
here, baby.
Always, man. And so I wanted people to get to dive into Gabriel. Guys, y'all don't know about him yet. If you haven't dove into him, you've just been on a rock. I don't know, like I was. You guys, look, Gabriel Cannon is not just a amazing, inspirational person, but he's into ministry, man. He's out here spreading love and letting you guys know that you guys can be more than just what's inside your mind. You know, God is always here for you guys. So before we dive into Gabriel Cannon, you know, brother of Nick Cannon, because everybody always got eyes on Nick. We got eyes on Gabe on this time. So y'all want to dive in with me, man, and get into the positive side and get y'all some spiritual uplifting going. Y'all dive into me and we're in the word of prayer and we're going to get at it. All right. So, hey, Gabriel, we always want to give up the host to give some prayer. Would you like to lead us in the word of prayer, man?
Let's do it. Heavenly Father, Lord God, I just thank you for the opportunity to be on this platform. I thank you for this platform, Father God. I thank you for all the ears and the eyes that's tuned in to this platform. I ask you to bless this platform, Father, and go before us, behind us, and beside us, Father. Lead us and help us to be obedient to your word. So thank you for everybody involved in this. I ask you to bless it, extend it, grow it, Father God, and bring financial blessings to all of us. In your name we pray. Amen.
My name is Gabriel. How everybody doing? Hey now, my celebrity relative is my brother. My celebrity relative is best known for being an athlete.
It's so obvious, like Gabe is football because his clues point to an athlete.
I 100% know his brother is in sports. His face is just like right there.
I got these shoulders and look like I could play a little football a little bit, but that's really just for my Michael Jackson moves.
You're not related to an athlete, you're a TV show host.
Let it rain for the fact that you died, but you live again. I'm trying to get an illusion that I'm cool, I'm fun, I'm friendly, but what they don't know is I'm a sniper.
Let them know that, yo, it's not just all about Nick. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers that really do some powerful things, and we really had your brother on, Javen Cannon. We had him on in the previous, on the P.E.G Podcast. So that was lit. So to be able to dive more into the Cannon family and just uplift people, it's so crazy. So I'm gonna give you time to let everybody know who is Gabe Cannon.
Yo, kill. Link with the kill them, seconds to Trinidad, pick up the whole of them. Come on, get it, no idea, anything that
Man, Gabriel Cannon, the child of the king. I'm gonna tell you that. That's definitely first and foremost. But I'm the middle child out of all my brothers. You know, I'm the, you know what they say about the middle child. So, you know, our father was a minister. You know what they say about the church kids. You know, but we definitely kept that word, you know, in our hearts and forefront. You know, but we come from North Carolina. Charlotte was born in San Diego, but, you know, as young kids moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and was raised out there, you know, and, you know, really got that country lifestyle, that country Southern hospitality and all that. You know, Nick kind of got on the Nickelodeon, got famous. My pops was the type dude who, he didn't let us watch TV, you know what I mean, or listen to certain music. He would turn it off, but he also gave us his camera. So though he didn't let us watch TV, he let us create our own television show. So, you know, Nick was, you know, you guys think y'all seen his directorial debut with the movie School Dance, but I know it was a movie called I Wish I Was a Ninja Turtle from when we was like 6 and 7. You know, so that's always been in us, and it's, you know, kind of come from my father and his moral compass, and, you know, just allowing us to be creative instead of falling into other people's creations. So, that's kind of where it was. We grew up, we was big on sports and all that. Nick made it big, and we realized that this entertainment stuff was real and lucrative. So we ended up moving from North Carolina to, Hollywood. And that's a definite change from being black and ashy to in demand.
Right, right. As a kid, was it like hard to grasp when that happened? Because that's a big change, like you said. You're going from ashy and now you got a little spiffy on your name. So was that different as a kid?
As a kid, it was like, we was in North Carolina, so Hollywood was so far away. I remember like bringing, when Nick was doing smaller stuff, magazines, he got in his first magazines and bringing those type things to school. Like, that's my brother. It's like, shut your black ass up. You know what I mean? People ain't believe that. Like, because like I said, Hollywood was just so far away and people didn't make it, from where we come from. But by the time he actually was like, the drum lines and stuff like that came out, the Nickelodeons, we're kind of up in age, going to the high school, middle school years. And so, he was able to come back. He would come back and, he would come to our basketball games. So it's like, he's right there. You know what I mean? So then the teachers would start treating you different. You ain't really got to study that hard for tests no more. Especially when Drumline came out, it was a whole... Man. Yeah, it's a whole nother ball game, man. Like, I remember I was like in 10th grade when that come out. I remember like begging for somebody to go to like the little homecoming or little football games. Went to where when Drumline came out, I had like 3 girlfriends.
He's like,
it definitely changed everything. It definitely changed everything. Yeah, absolutely. Then being a young man, like we loved it.
I bet you, man. I bet you was definitely a light, and to see that as a kid, how life can how a different part of life can really change you. Like, how people, like you said, you went from being ashy, and now the teacher's like, okay, you ain't gotta study that hard. You're like, oh, okay, I get not 1 girlfriend but 3. So I bet you had like a different pep in your step. You was like, okay, Nick's my brother. At first, you should have wrote a list. You should have wrote a list of everybody that said nope. And then we brought them to the basketball game. You're like, yeah.
No, it definitely was like that. But you know what? It became an idol in my life, to be honest. You know what I mean? I had to cross that road too because, me, being dark skinned and I'm not looking like, what you see that Nick Cannon is. And it's like, imagine, you tell people, yo, Nick Cannon's brother coming and I'm in there and it's like, you gonna look like, are you sure? Like, you really like, you mean cuz over there? Like, and so, I would see those things, I would see people second guess, oh, I thought it was gonna be this. So I thought, so I began to, do things that wasn't my stuff. I began to put on traits or characteristics or personality characters to where I was trying to show, okay, I don't look like them, but I'm funny like them, or you know what I mean? To where I began to try to give people what they thought I should be, other than who I truly was. You know what I mean? So now I'm putting on this mask and I'm tap dancing for you, to be this person that I think you made up in your mind of who I was, and not genuinely being who God truly created me to be, which, in later years, I had to cross that road when it comes from, self-discovery and identity and idolize. I had to realize like my brother literally became my idol in my life, so definitely had to deal with those things.
And there's definitely some big things to have to face in any part of your life. There's people right now that's facing difficulties, with identity, knowing who they are versus, like you said, you got to realize that these characteristics and these traits that I'm mimicking is not you, but you did realize how you was doing it to please others. And that happens a lot as you grow up. But I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you that you decide to put your footsteps somewhere else and make a platform for yourself. And especially when I was reading more about you and diving in, I'm like, oh man, just the amount of people that you touch and inspire around the world, just come in contact with, they're definitely blessed by that. I don't believe anybody that comes in your contact will be like, he's not a blessed dude. Like, he's not a cool dude. I don't feel it. How many siblings do you guys have? Like, you in general?
It's 5 of us all together, all boys. Yeah.
Oh, boys. What? No girls?
No
No
girl.
girl.
That's why we suckers for love. That's why, you know what I mean? Like, we get our heart broke real easy because it's like, okay, grew up with boys our whole life, so the female attention is like kryptonite.
Give me some attention right now. Oh, that's crazy, man. I bet you that house was very full of life. And especially when I watched the video of you and your brothers, how y'all was like right in front of the camera, interactive. Like, I don't even think I know the song, but I was like, it sounded like it sounded like they knew the song. Like, you know, like it was very funny. And do you say when your life decided to change when Nick got on Nickelodeon, did you see like him? Did you see a change in him? Also, as you saw a change in yourself?
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you realize what Nick did, you look at Nick's career, I mean, the stuff he did, he was the youngest staff writer in television history at 17. You know what I mean? Like, the boy had his own television show at 17. And, you know what I mean, starring in these films, when he married Mariah, you know, the biggest female artist, you know what I mean? Like, he was like 24, 25 years old. Like, he wasn't, you know what I mean? He was still new to, you know what I mean? So, you know, looking back at all the things we went through, you know, when he created Wild 'N Out, bro was 22 years old, something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't imagine looking at a 22-year-old nowadays and say, yeah, I just created my own #1 hit show. Like, you know, it ain't too many of those people, but yeah, he was already that type dude. I remember when he was 12 years old, like, he did this, you know, he got all the kids in the neighborhood and it was like a field day almost. He had like 12 different stations and, you know, he did a field day for the whole day. And he was 12 years old, like, you know what I mean? To where people's parents are coming out of the apartments and like partaking in this field day that this little kid done put together for the whole community. Like, you know, he just was a different type of, you know, species. But, you know, just looking back at it, you know, we just realized like, yo, we were young. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's young, man.
So, you know, the mistakes, you know what I mean? The learning curve, you know what I mean? We just thank God that, you know, we still in it today, you know, because we were young men. Nick was a young man, you know, I'm 9 years younger than him. So it's like,
oh, man.
You know, we was babies in this game. But, you know, he the way he handled it, the way, you know, he tried to keep his image clean. He didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, it shows God's hand and, you know, I feel in a lot of things. But, you know, you can look at his career. He had his little shits where he rocking a big gold chain.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can see it.
Then you see he had the turban on. Now you see he ain't wearing that turban so much. Like, you know, so you can see the changes in him too. Like, he definitely going through his stages of growth and understanding over the years. Absolutely.
Hey, shout out to Nick Cannon, bro. I do look up to bro. He, to me, like you said, being the youngest writer, you know, on television. That's dope. And being able to put a show together at a young age, Wild 'N Out, and now look at it. Like, look at it. Look where your dreams go, especially going far, just believing in yourself. So definitely I'm proud of Nick and keep going. But as you guys started to make transitions in your life, you saw that, you know, you go from losing yourself into an industry to actually finding yourself. What is your mission? Like right now, what is Gabe Cannon's mission?
My mission is to be used, honestly, to used by God, man. Like, you know, I know, you know, when I left Hollywood, it was, you know, I first came out, like I said, we're from North Carolina. We thought once you get to Hollywood, you get signed to a record label, you good. You buy your mama a car, you buy you buy her house, and you know what I mean. Once these things come, you know, but then we walk through it and you realize the truth of it. You realize when you get signed to these major labels, it's a box. It's a, you know what I mean? It's a compromise almost. It's a, you know what I mean? And then saying what's at the top of this pyramid, you know what I mean? To really see what the entertainment industry is and to see how much control it has over the world. You know, Hollywood influences the world. And then when you look at the world and realize the world ain't in too much good of a condition, you look at the root and you see where these ideas and these thoughts are coming from and have been seeded and planted. It's been through these films and through this music. So you kind of realize and you start to see, you know, the eye at the top of the pyramid. You know what I mean? There's a lot of y'all be doing the studying and, you know, I'm kind of, you know what I mean? And all of that, when you realize that stuff is real, you know what I mean? You realize like, oh, there's really a negative influences that's trying to influence these people. And then, you come from the church and then you lining stuff up with stuff you learned as a kid. And it's like, God gotta be real because it's obvious I'll cheer the devil real.
No, for real, like for real.
And in Hollywood, you will meet him, firsthand, and he will have a handful of gifts and treasures and women or whatever your vice or the thing you think you like or want it the most is gonna be presented to you. You know what I mean? In its most beautiful, way. And for me, man, when I seen that and I seen the compromise in myself, like, you know what I mean? I seen what you have to do to get there. It's like, if you Google my name, they'll tell you I went to prison, but I didn't go to prison. I didn't go to prison ever.
They won't let me out. No, they won't let me out.
At all. But that's a part of what I'm talking about. But because I was who I am, I left Hollywood and I went to Bible college. Now when you Google my name, just for some reason, the narrative has been changed that I went to prison. The only thing I did in prison, I had a prison ministry and I went to San Quentin and I would go in there and I would speak to all the inmates in San Quentin, like, one of the worst prisons on our country. Right. I'm giving them the gospel and all that. And, Hollywood sees that. And now there's a nice narrative for pages. If you scroll down that, I've been in prison for the last few years. And it's like, yo, man, this game is so twisted, so sick, but it really it set a fire to me because it's like, I can't let that narrative, live. Imagine if something happened to me today, God forbid, that narrative would be out there. And then you'll read the headline, oh, something happened to Nick Cannon's brother. And then after that, you're going to read, he's been in prison for the last. And it's like, that's so far from the truth. He was in Bible college, but, and that kind of made me see, like, the evils of, the narrative, what I mean? Even how they say in those history books, the person who wrote the history is the winners of the wars. Like, what I mean? You'll never get the truth. So just give me, I feel my calling is to take back territory of these airways. You know what I mean? The airwaves of life. You know what I mean? We the entertainment industry. I got to do the same thing you did. I got to go find the charger real quick. But yeah, I feel like, that's my mission to let people know where I've been through, let people know everything that glitters ain't gold.
No, it's not.
That's really what I feel it is. I thought I had to surrender everything I was called to do and all this music stuff. And God was really just like, no, I gave you that so you can have a front row seat, a front row full knowledge of what's going on. Now be effective with what you know.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big. And then, like you said, when you realize like what you was seeing and everything you was taught is like, wait, this is in front of me. Like, was it like how like you have a deja vu moment? Would you say it was like a deja vu moment when you really realized what was in front of you?
I mean, I think when you present it with truth at the beginning, it's kind of like, you know what it is. I was a type dude, like I've always known who God was. But before I lay down with a chick, I'm going to pray, Lord God, help me don't come up with no disease. Before I was the type guy who, before I take a pill or anything, or y'all popping pills? Give me one. I'm going to pray over mine. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm going to still go there with you. You know what I mean? And
I'm going to pray over mine.
Like I was like, and people look at me like, boy, you crazy. You was playing with God. And it's like, well, I mean, it obviously worked because I'm here. You feel me? But I just feel that, that was just to expose. He let me see that for a reason. He let me realize, he let me go through those temptations, and so it's like you kind of know what you're doing. Like I ain't blind to what I'm doing. It's that if you can keep yourself numb enough, you know what I mean? I think that's what the enemy wants us to do. Can you keep yourself distracted long enough? If you look at the average human lives, let's just give him more. Let's say 85 years. They probably a lot less than that. But if I was the enemy, if I hated you or mankind or whatever, all I got to do is keep you distracted from those prime years for what, about 40 of those years. If I could keep you distracted, if I could bring the wrong woman in your life, if I could bring the wrong job in your life, if I could bring the wrong pursuit in your life and keep you distracted from your calling and where you're supposed to be just for this little gap of time, I controlled your whole life, and whatever you were destined to be and whatever your grandkids was there, we're going to have to try next generation because I distracted the hell out of him. You feel me?
Put some fire on you, bro. I'm going to give you some water next. I'm going to pass you some water, dude, because you preaching like real talk, man. I like what you said. Like that enemy is there to keep you distracted for that moment, for your prime. Like you in your prime, you got a destination to go, and he's right there to distract you. And the fact that you realize, you're like, hold on, wait a minute, I'm getting distracted. And you decide to turn around, man. That's big of you. And you now work on sharing that with so many people. And I would like, if I didn't know right now, because I didn't even dive out, like wrote into it. I saw that the article, and I was like, wait, I remember you sent me your bio. I'm like, he never said anything about going to prison. I'm like, he went to prison? Like, hold on, that happened? And I'm like, okay, well, all right, well, just kept going, you know? And I was like, just how wrong, if we didn't have this conversation, how wrong would that one information been, you know? So that is so crazy that you push through something like that, because there's some people out there that's not strong-minded to push through certain comments like that, you know? So I'm proud of you, man, pushing through it and not living through it.
And that'll do damage to you, because the little thing people say, because, you know, I grew up playing golf. I was a young black kid, like, I want to do stuff that normal black kids. I know I played basketball or football, but it's like, where are we not? I want to be there. So I started playing. I started playing golf like since seventh grade. So when I came to California, I'm part of these golf tournaments and all this stuff. But when that stuff started coming out in the media, you know, I started getting basically canceled. Like, yo, Mr. Cannon, you can't be a part of this no more. We don't want people that associate with things like that. And it's like, really, like, you know, things began being taken from me because of this lie. Oh, you've been in prison. It's like, you know, nobody wanted to hear that when they read it online. And it's like, I've never been to prison. You just look like you're covering for yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's kind of, it's crazy. That's Hollywood for you, you know. But if I was trying to rap and I was doing music, girl shake the, you know, because now after, you know, Hollywood, I'm still doing inspirational music and stuff, but I'm working with a nonprofit called Young Visionaries. Got the show on Young Visionaries. You know, we just doing everything that God gave us. You know, like I said, my dad gave us the camera young. Nick made it in Hollywood because he had experience. And that's the same thing we're doing with these youngsters. We're trying to find their gifts, their talents. The school system is labeling them ADD and pushing them to the side. And, you know, so we just developing these programs to come and inspire. And we got a Christmas play coming up. You know, it's kind of nativity story. It's narrated through a roach. Like, it's crazy.
Hey, yo, that sounds wild.
But we being creative. You know, we're giving these kids messages, but you know what I mean? And if I feel I wasn't in that lane, I didn't, you know, choose to go deal with the youth and be in the community. We're giving away, you know, 50,000 toys on Christmas, 5,000 turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Yo, you already know who it is. It's your boy, Gabriel Cannon. We just got finished in the community giving away these holiday hams and these turkeys and some.
I feel if I stayed as a rapper and was in a strip club and I feel that prison thing, them lying and saying I went to prison, that would have been a plus. Like, you know what I mean? But now that I'm in this industry and now that I'm trying to make a difference, now you look at it like, oh, bro, an ex-convict, which, you know what I mean? It shows transformation, but it's like, bro, I haven't been to prison.
Like, I don't know what that feels like.
Like, I've been in there, but I was speaking to people. But
it was in a different light. They put you in the scenario of how to just twisting it with the words. So, man, keep pushing through. I like that. Shout out to Young Visionaries, man. Y'all out there doing y'all thing, bro. Want to talk about when you decided to create this and make this platform, like, what was your reason? You're like, okay, my dad has instilled this into me and this is what we do. But what was the reason you were like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and create this nonprofit to do better? Or like, what was the story behind that?
Well, it was a nonprofit. That was already existed with this brother named Terrence Stone. Terrence Stone he was an ex-Crip, you feel me? And real gangbanging. He locked up, but he changed his life, gave his life to God, and created a nonprofit about 20 years ago. We just did the 20-year anniversary. But I would go and I would speak to his youth. But I was like signing the Def Jam and stuff. I would go speak to his youth. And, just, as a humanitarian thing, and I just found purpose in that. And my pops was the type dude, he always had a nonprofit organization. I remember back in the day, he had drug-free youth and, high achievers. Like, as far as I can remember, my dad, he's always had a nonprofit. That's where we learned our people skills from. We would go to door selling candy and, stuff like that. And it kind of got us over our fear of people. So for me, it was looking for purpose. God started closing doors. I went to Bible college, found my wife, got married. And it's like, okay, how do I do the right thing? How do I do what I know I'm supposed to do? And it's like, basically the question, Lord, how can I be used? How can I be used for your purposes? And it's like, okay, well, definitely over here, definitely in this community. The question was, what's the worst community out here? They was telling me San Bernardino, like murder capital now in California. Like they beating out Compton. And so it's like, it's going down. So it's like, okay, I definitely want to be front line. You know what I mean? So it's just, it was just a family thing. Terrence Stone was already building. I was already tapped in with them, but it was just surrendering what I thought success was, and that's what we have to do. We have to, when you're younger, you have a definition of success, this big car, this big house, this, you know what I mean? But as we get older, we have to continue, redefining what we call success. You know what I mean? I remember as a young man, you ask these young dudes out here, yo, what's the success? The guy with the most girls, the guy with the, you know what I mean? They got a false reality of what success is. And, I had to just, identify what success meant to me and, what my life, if I die and who's at my funeral, what are they saying? What was my purpose on this earth? And when I started asking myself those questions, my path became clearer to me, I guess.
So what moment, like you said, when you realized that, what moment made you realize like, I need to take a different route. You feel me? Like I done seen it all, I done done it all, and I'm ready to take my leap of faith. What made you do that?
It was a collective. Like, I don't think it was just this one moment, man.
No moment, okay.
Yeah, just a collective. Like, me, like I said earlier, we lover boys. We all boys, and we had no sisters. And like the world came in excess, and it's like me waking up to different women every morning was like, yo, that's not cool. Like, I'm nasty. Like, you know what I mean? Me being real with myself, like, bro, you nasty. Like, you know what I mean? Like just being the reality of what I was doing. Like, duh, bro, you in the club every night, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dang, but then too, the reality of things, I looked up and I realized all my friends wasn't really my friends. They was all trying to get on or try to, all the girls that were around me, they trying to be wilding out girls and models. And it's like, yo, ain't nobody really here for me. If I didn't have an event to get you into or a bottle or a table section, like, no, people weren't hitting my phone up. And then if I wasn't doing these things, like, people was getting mad at, you know what I mean? So people really didn't know who I was. They knew who I was pretending to be. And I started realizing I'm surrounded by people, but I'm alone. You know what I mean? I got a house full of stuff, but I'm completely empty. Like, and those feelings and me realizing like, yo, asking myself, what is and if you look at all the celebrities, most of them, you can see that there's something missing. There's something like they don't seem fully happy, though they have everything we wish we had. You can see a little sadness in them or a little, it feels like something's missing. And that's what it is, to be walking in purpose. Like, you know what I mean? You could accomplish everything in this world, but if you're not accomplishing what you were supposed to do, you ain't do nothing. You did a bunch of nothing. You feel me? So it's like, that's kind of what started waking me up when I started like really, and then I had a daughter. I don't know if you remember the show For the Love of Ray J. I had a daughter by the girl with the tat on her face. Danger.
Oh my God. I know you talking about.
I dived into danger.
It's danger. Okay, I got you.
And so, but then I had, then becoming a father, a full-time father, you know what I mean?
Shout out
I had
to you.
full custody of her. Yeah, and I started looking at, women different, like, hold on, man, that's somebody's daughter, you know what I mean? But then the responsibility of being a father and, you know what I mean, looking at the world and having to now coach somebody through it. It was like, hold on, I had to be, as much as I could pray over this pill, and I know it's wrong, but I'm going to still do it. Like, I had to be real with myself, like, yo, you can't continue to do it now. Like, now you living for somebody else, you know what I mean? So life circumstance, and I think the world's biggest problem, people's biggest problem, and if we solve this problem, I know we'll have a better world, is people was taking responsibility for their own actions. Like, we always looking for somebody else to blame. Well, I'm like this because my mama was like this, and I'm like this because I grew up in so-and-so. And it's like, yo, man, okay, cool. But if we all take responsibility for our own actions and say, yo, what did I do to mess that up, and what can I do to change that? I think relationships have changed. Chains will start breaking off of things. And you know what I'm saying? So I started being honest with myself. I stopped lying to myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then I would begin to see truth.
Man, that's so deep, bro. I remember there was an episode when you said that, it made me remind me of an episode, Love and Hip Hop. And sometimes, you know, I just look at it because I like to watch stuff that like make my mind think. Like, I don't really watch a lot of TV unless it's educational documentaries. I like to study. But I have my moments where, you know, sometimes it's overwhelming. So I'll have my little Love and Hip Hop moment. You know, that's some fight, that all I need. I don't need no fighting over here. But there was an episode where the Brad was talking to Bow Wow, and he was really upset. It was really overwhelming. He had like a little bad night outside the club, and he was like, you know, wanting to kill himself through everything he was going through. And she was like, why would you want to do that? And he was like, I done lived everything. I done done it all. And she was like, so you Bow Wow, you got a house, you got a crib, you ain't starving. He was like, yeah, but what else I got? I done done it all. She was like, go build an organization, go give back, go do something, you Bow Wow. You got enough followers to change the world. And then like that mindset, like you said, where people get lost in who they are, like being chasing that opportunity brought you that limelight, brought you that money, but you can take that fame and turn it into a different type of fame. And I like that, like you said, okay, I saw this, that I've been through it, even though you was out there praying over a pill, not knowing, you know, what this pill gonna do to me. He's like, I'm gonna pray over it anyway, I'm gonna give it to God. And God showed you what you could have a life of, everything that you desire, but misery because of your loved ones. You don't really cherish your loved ones, but you show that you cherish your loved ones, you give back to the community. And it's like you don't have to worry about abundance at that point. It comes back to you, you know? So that's very moving and touching to hear you say that, because I feel like the listeners out there on the P.E.G Podcast family, I feel like they just think I just be making it up, man. When I tell them you're not alone, man. So many people around the world that's doing what you're doing or want to do what you're doing. So, man, you guys, look, if you're listening right now, man, Gabe has definitely been diving in with us. Let us dive in with him. You're listening right now, and it's something that you want to do. You want to use your voice. Do it. Put God first. All right, whatever you call, whoever you call, you know, you crazy, you call yourself the Most High. That's you. Believe in yourself. You know, I always tell somebody, believe in yourself, because the only person that's going to fail you today is you. You know what I'm saying? You're the biggest person in your life. So you want to kill yourself, you're going to end all your desire. And I love that you're pushing that through your ministry, and no matter throughout the comments and everything that you share through Hollywood, you're like, well, that was that, and this is me. You know, I wore two masks, but I took it off, and you're not lost in your identity. And I like that, man. I appreciate you. So what are some projects right now, Gabe, that you may be working on with the community or to give back? What are some things you're working on right now?
Oh, we running full fledged, man. I'm working on this nativity story. I'm gonna definitely keep you updated on that. But we got a crazy twist. But we want to remind people of Christmas, you know what I mean? The story is kind of crazy. It's a play. I kind of take this young, because, you know, I've been dealing in the community, the group homes. I created a music program in the probation departments down here in San Bernardino and the Inland Empire. So I'm taking all of those kids. I'm really taking kids that's been locked up. And you know what I mean? These kids are trying to pull different things out of them. Like, yo, who's never acted, who's never been in front of a camera, and, you know, showing them themselves, like, bro, there's so much inside of you that you don't even know. You know what I mean? So definitely taking that. I'm taking so one of the story is basically this young girl. She goes into this group home. She's pregnant. She's thinking about abortion. You know, that's a hot topic right now. Yeah. But, you know, and like I said, this a roach narrates it. You know, everybody's been through a little roach a little bit. Everybody know it gave a roach a name a little.
Right.
But Yeah, but we parallel this girl's story kind of with Mary's story. Mary's pregnant with purpose, though. She's pregnant with this promised child. She's pregnant. And so, you know what I mean? They end up learning the nativity story through this girl's challenge who just came to this group home. So it's going to be beautiful. We're definitely doing that in December. But just because of, we taking incarcerated kids and pulling this off, man. Like, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, I got a lot of music coming out too. Like I said, I came out of Bible college. I was signed to Def Jam. I had a single out called Cakes with Fabulous. She got them cakes. She got them cakes. And Sorry Ass Apologies.
Saw that, yeah.
Yeah, writers and artists. But now it's just a bit more, better positive influence. I put a single out called Bow My Head.
Let it rain for the fact that you die, but you live again. Born in a trap, but you led the way. We could die any day, Lord, give us wings.
I like that, bro. I love that, bro. I listened to it. It is definitely dope. Y'all gotta listen to it. Hey, man, we hope to have you on the P.E.G Podcast and let them listen to it. But it is dope. It's touching. I had to let you know. I don't know. I didn't text it to you, but I was like literally listening to it. I'm like, this is dope. This is really fire. Bow My Head. I love that, man.
I appreciate it.
I want y'all to check out my song, Bow My Head. It's the song, man. Type it in, listen to it. It's everywhere. So I just want to say thank you.
After I put that out, I kind of stopped for a minute because the association, Nick Cannon, people going to come see. And it's like, I definitely had a lot. I still, working out a lot in myself, man. I don't want to taint the message because of the messenger. You know what I mean? So I kind of stopped, but I'm getting back on it on the inspirational gospel hip hop type thing, with just new creativity, new influences, and a new direction. But I'm reaching out to the people, man. Y'all got some. Let's build, because my Rolodex was full of all my Hollywood folks. I come in there, I get in the studio, and they be like, "Did he just say Jesus?" Like, oh, what? You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to. It's a rebuilding process. It's a birth. I need a new squad. Like, you know what I mean?
You funny, Bree said, did he just say Jesus?
You feel me?
Stop the whole vibe. Like, hold on.
Yeah. So, just rebuilding, man. And, even those same people who says things like that, they're still, a lot of people are watching like, I wonder if he's going to go back to the old guy he used to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people just watching and seeing, like, I don't understand what he's doing, but they paying attention. So I definitely plan on putting a lot of stuff out as far as music. Like I said, we got these plays. I got a short film called Love War coming out.
Ooh.
It's like 3 different music videos, but it creates a short film. I'm trying to show people these acting chops. So there's a lot going on at the top of the year. So yeah, just trying to be, a good steward of everything.
Hey, push through it, man. I'm excited to see what you got to drop it. Yo, if it's fire like Bow My Head, man, I know you're going to turn up. So keep doing it, man. We definitely got to link up together. We got to do some projects together. I'm definitely down. Go. I'm with it. You got me in your back pocket, you know what I'm saying? So look, I ain't scared.
Let's go.
Hey, let's go. I ain't scared. You said Jesus? You said Jesus. Hey, I'm with you, man. Like, I've been honest. You said practice?
Practice.
What's up now, man? So, hey, man, what is the most important thing that you have learned throughout everything you've been through so far? Like, just the experience, like you said, now being in a point where you've seen where Hollywood is and growing up and finding who Gabe is. Like, what is the most important thing you realized up to this point?
Man, keep God first. Definitely keep God first. And trust yourself. Definitely trust yourself. Like, I was the type dude who lived for other people's approval. Like, you know what I mean? If people didn't think I was cool enough, or that people, like, I would pitch somebody an idea and it's like, they didn't react the way I wanted them to react. And I would leave the idea alone. And you know what I mean? And not realize, like, yo, that's a golden ticket from God, bro. You know what I mean? So, I'm looking for other people's approval, or even my brother's approval, when, what was for me was placed inside of me. So trust inside of you. Definitely get, wise counsel, but, be willing to walk alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I kind of learned. Though I'm the middle child, and, I got 2 older brothers, 2 younger brothers. And you know what I mean? I had to learn the beauty of being willing to walk alone.
Hey, you gotta walk in this world sometime alone, man. But look, just because you're walking alone, don't mean that you are alone. God is always with you. We're always here with you, man. Shout out to social media so everybody can know where to follow you. They want to chop it up with Gabe, see what he's doing, share some light to him. You know, hey, you said Jesus. We gonna talk about some Jesus, and where they can find you at on social, man.
Man, you can find me on Instagram, Gabriel Cannon Music. That's Gabriel Cannon Music, simple. Facebook, Gabriel Cannon. And I don't do the TikToks because I heard stuff vanish and you could get in trouble. So I try to stay out of trouble. I heard TikTok is breaking up happy homes all around the globe. So I ain't got no TikTok.
Word to the nation. Look, TikTok is breaking up happy homes. Yo, no breaking up happy homes over here. Gabe is definitely a vibe, y'all. So y'all gotta go tap into Gabe's music, his ministry, his vision. Yo, as y'all can see, like I said, he's a vibe. He makes you laugh. He get y'all some Jesus too. Yo, yes, I said Jesus. Some Jesus. Yo, look, before we roll up out of here, I want to let you guys know that, look, you are never alone. I don't care what you say today, tomorrow, or yesterday. You're never alone. And I love you. Gabe love you. It ain't nothing you can do about it. So now, tell your mama, tell your daddy, we don't care. We love y'all. And look, tune in to the P.E.G Podcast on all major platforms, IHeartradio, and get y'all some Gabe vibe, man. If this didn't lift y'all up, I don't know. You got to go check out Bow My Head. That's going to lift y'all up, all right? Tune into Bow My Head, and we love y'all. And keep lifting it up on the P.E.G Podcast, y'all. Hey, we in the building.